Back. Another episode. Purple Rain Podcast. Episode 22. How are you feeling? A lot of stuff happened this past week in NFL.
Yeah,
We're here for it. Here to
that
just
we
bring
are.
you in.
That we
But
are, my
before
friend.
before we ever, as always, if you're here, new, like, subscribe, share with your friends. And we have Instagram, the Purple Rain Podcast. Feel free to, drop a follow. DM us. We'll DM you back.
Yeah,
Ask if anybody else has DM'd us. Talk right back.
yeah.
How are you today? How are you on this lovely Monday?
Hey, man. I'm doing pretty swell. There's been a lot of. I just told you before we went on air. I'm kind of not at ease right now because there's been a lot of Lamar Jackson slander that I've been seeing on my timeline as of recent,
Uh-huh.
and I don't know how I feel about that. Actually, no, I do know how I feel about that. I'm disgusted. So we're gonna talk about that. I'll let you know what I've been seeing. But I'm feeling pretty good. Other than that, there's some good information coming out right now, or some hot information. And excuse my dog if you guys can hear my dog in the background. Um, but anyway, there's some good information that came out about Orlando Brown that we'll end up talking about as well. So I'm feeling good, bro. But how are you feeling though?
I'm feeling lovely. Speaking of our quarterback, this past week I was, at the mall and I picked up a new jersey. Now this isn't
Oh,
the LSU jersey. This is the
oh,
Boynton Beach Tigers, where Lamar Jackson went to high school.
uh-oh.
Probably one of my favorite jerseys I think I've gotten, and it was at the perfect time because, like you said, just the disrespect of our quarterback is just at an all-time high. The
Right,
comparisons, comparing him to Matt Stafford, who just got traded, who's 0-3 in the playoffs. We'll get to it. We'll get to
right.
it. It's just out of hand, and a video popped up on Twitter of him at the combine and multiple reporters asking him, "Oh, are you going to be a receiver, a running back?" It's like you go to college 4 5 years to get your degree, and you ask dumb questions like that. You should be ashamed of yourself. We'll get all into it.
Facts,
We will get
facts.
all into it. But the hot topic right now: left or right, left tackle, right tackle. What's going on?
Man, so as you guys all know, a couple of days ago, we're kind of late to the party on this one because we have a Monday and a Thursday show. I believe this news broke on a Friday. So probably like the worst day for news to break,
Yeah.
in terms of like when we're gonna get content out, which will change soon, guys, because we're gonna be putting out some more stuff regularly. So watch out for that too. But Orlando Brown, he tweeted, "I am a left tackle," emphasis on the left, all caps. Basically, you guys know what that means, that he wants that left tackle money. Now, as we know, and if you don't know this, left tackles do get paid more than right tackles. Also, if you
Yes.
didn't know this as well, Orlando Brown actually, he kind of was playing on a rookie deal that didn't suit him. He played way beyond that rookie deal. Like he exceeded expectations by a
Like a
ton.
quarterback.
Yeah, exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. So, and the reason for that was because, like, in the combine, he actually really struggled, so his draft stock really
Yeah.
fell. So he
Bad.
didn't really get that rookie deal that would have really set him up for success. So now he's trying to get that money back, and I really
That
don't know how I
easy
feel about
money.
it, bro. Easy money. I know you. I don't know how I feel about it, bro. How do you feel? I
It's
want to get your opinion first on it.
If it was any other player, I would say go ahead. You can leave. But with Orlando Brown, like the roots he has, the Baltimore, his dad playing for us. And actually he was on Matt Judon's live and I was watching it. In 2009, his late dad brought him up to the training facility and John Harbaugh said maybe we'll draft you one day. In
Hmm.
2009 and now in 2000, I think it was 18 and got drafted. It happened. I would love to see him be a Raven for life. It was destined. He needs to be a Raven for life. But at the same time, the market for left tackles is probably up there for one of the best. Look what the Texans gave up for Laramie Tunsil. So I think if we were to trade him, which I don't want us to do, we could definitely get a first round pick for him.
So first round, but like, are we talking top 10? Are we talking
I think
top
we're
five?
talking. I think we're talking top 16, top
Mm,
half, or
top half.
from that 14 to 20 area.
Okay. Okay. And it's kind of interesting that you bring that up because I wanted to kind of talk about the 2021 mock draft board that's kind of, going out right now. And if we're talking top 15 picks, it looks like they are projecting QB, wide receiver. So we've got Jamar Chase, we've got offensive tackle, we've got Kyle Pitts, tight end, Waddle. So there's a lot of good guys in here. We've got wide receiver, we've got cornerback, all things, edge rusher, more cornerback, all things that we need in those top 15 projected picks.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I feel like EDC might be cooking up something. What do you think,
He's
though?
he's definitely, rubbing his hands together, definitely thinking how he can fleece another general manager. Because
Yeah,
it's going to happen if it were. But my heart thinks he's going to play right tackle this year.
yeah,
We franchise tag him, do a tag and trade, I think. Because I don't think he would sit out necessarily. Um, and it's not like the guy at left tackle is a scrub. It's Ronnie
no,
Stanley,
yeah,
So he doesn't really have the right to say that because Stanley is, that's his natural position. I get that's Zeus's natural position, but Stanley's been doing this a lot longer than you.
yeah,
So, and he got paid before you too, and that definitely holds a lot more weight over Orlando Brown Jr.
yeah. You're absolutely right about that, man. And unfortunately, like you said, I would love to see him be a Raven for life, but business is business, and
It is.
EDC is a businessman. Like he will get deals done, and he does not. He's the Don for a reason.
He
Don
is.
DeCosta. They call him the Don for a reason. So I definitely think that I agree with somebody in the chat right here. Let's see, Ryan. Yeah, Ryan says I think DeCosta is going to get picks for Brown. He's going to let him walk for a comp third pick.
I don't think we'll let him walk. I definitely think we're going to try to trade him. I feel he's too good of a player. You just let walk for a comp pick. That's why I feel like a tag and trade is probably in the cards because we this upcoming year, this says a lot about who this team is.
Oh, yeah, definitely. You're right
And then because we have to pay Lamar soon, got to pay Mark Andrews soon. So I guess if Zeus were to leave, does that mean we re-sign Mark Andrews?
You're right about that. You're right about that. Also see what else do we have in the chat. Rain Gang, appreciate you guys, for putting in your input in the chat. We appreciate you guys. Make sure you like the video, subscribe if you enjoy the content, and yeah, let's see what we have. Peyton Elizabeth. I'm sorry, can't talk tonight. I don't want Brown to leave at all. Nobody does.
Nobody does.
Nobody does. But it's just like he's kind of putting us in a tough situation, and he's putting Ronnie Stanley in a tough situation too. And that's the thing that I don't like about the whole situation.
I mean, it's not like he has every right to say that. Say if we needed a left tackle, it's not like some scrub is playing at left tackle. That's what I really don't like. It's like, okay, you can go and get paid, but you can go play for a garbage team and be happy with that. You can get the bag and go play for some terrible team. Or
Yeah.
you can still get a good contract, which is we're not going to underpay him because we know his value and play for a good team. That you've been here, you've established yourself here. And just the tweet, he didn't come off to me like that. He really didn't come off. And then what I didn't like either was Mark Ingram replying and saying, "Yeah, you earned that," and just saying, "I approve of this." And then even Judon is like, guys who aren't even under contract next year are like egging him on, which I didn't like that either.
I mean, it really all comes down to the philosophy of the player, right? And you see this in guys in GOATs like Tom Brady, who were willing to take pay cuts their entire career in order to win, in order to get pieces around them and, to win. So some guys, of course, they're going to value themselves and, which is they have every right to do so. And you really should. But that's what separates, I think, the greats from some of the legends, when you sacrifice some of your own pay for the team, I think it makes it a lot easier on yourself at the end of the day. And if you want to be part of a winning culture, that's just what you have to do. And not everybody is willing to do that,
Yeah, I mean that's 100%. People were like, "Oh, why were the Patriots always good?" Because Brady didn't make more than $20 million. I'm pretty sure. So, they could keep on getting this talent and drafting talent, having great scouts, and that's what we do have. We can develop players. Think about the linemen who have left us in the past couple of years. Rick Wagner, he's on a second team. He was getting blown up against the Buccaneers, just absolutely blown by. I mean, Ryan Jensen on a Super Bowl team. I'll miss him. Kelechi Osemele. Who else left? James Hurst. We cut him. So I'm definitely trusting the process if he were to leave, but it would hurt if he left.
Yeah, and it's just you would hate to see a us have a significant loss or like, you know what I mean? Like at that position next season, like if we're just
Mhm.
significantly worse at that position and Lamar is just like getting, well, not at left tackle, but at right tackle. I mean, like, cause I don't know what we're going to do with Fluker and,
Tyree Phillips.
with Phillips. Cause
Please no.
that divisional game, they really played like ass. And I
That's
don't,
that's saying it nicely.
yeah, honestly, it is. But I just don't see us moving forward with them. So it really just, I don't know what we're going to do at that position. So I
No.
think that we could trade. Here's the thing, though. We could trade for those picks. We could trade Orlando Brown for some of those picks, maybe trade into the top 10, get an offensive tackle or get a wide receiver. Or, we'll probably end up getting a couple picks, I think, for Orlando Brown, which, or, maybe even a player. I think I would rather go picks rather than players, though. What do you think about that? Picks or players?
100% picks.
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 So with that being said, that means that you have faith in some of the wide receivers in the draft class, right?
That is true. And also, depending what we do in free agency, we did just clear up some cap space. We re-signed Nick Boyle. That's always. I mean, that was big. That solidifies our blocking tight end. I think that's definitely one of the rare moves that people kind of just let it go by them. But I
Yeah,
think
it's
for our run
huge.
game, that's huge.
Yeah,
It shows the faith they have, and they've seen what he's done post injury. They have confidence
right.
in him. That's great for us.
It
Um,
is.
yeah, I think it depends what receiver we get. I mean, do we finally hit that next? Say, what the Steelers always do: always draft a receiver mid rounds and get a hit on it, or do we get another Marlon Brown who shows promise and then you never hear about him again?
Yeah. Click one says we could find a way to ruin Devonta Smith. Honestly.
Yeah, we could.
Oh man, that's so true and sad. But I saw a It's interesting that he brings that up because I saw a comment on our last video that I wanted to bring up to you guys in this video. Somebody said that I hate how we have to accept the narrative that we cannot draft receivers well when it's literally their freaking job to find talented players to bring to our team. How could you possibly get paid for the abomination we have at the wide receiver position? It's such a joke, bro. I'm starting to get really annoyed with this franchise. I feel like they think that being good enough is good enough. And that
Yeah.
was from Brandon Zand. So shout out to him.
So, what if it's not the scouting? What if it's the developing? Because why is it when Brashad Perryman left the Ravens, he actually produced for other teams? Not a receiver 1 or 2 type production, but he still produced for teams.
Yeah.
And he was making catches he did not make here. So
Yeah.
I think there's something wrong with the whole developing receivers, but where is it?
Yeah.
What's going wrong and at what point is it going wrong?
Yeah. Honestly, now I know you said that you would rather take picks over players, but if we
Yeah.
were to go the players route, I think your favorite candidate is Corey Davis, right?
I wouldn't say favorite, but just for the price. If
For the
I could
price,
have
yeah.
anybody, it would be Chris Godwin, but I think his price would be out of our range. But
Chris Godwin drops a lot of balls, though. I don't know.
he does make some crazy catches. And he had a really good year last year when Mike Evans was out a few games. He was a receiver 1. I mean,
Yeah.
but he does have the dropping problem, but so does every other receiver on this team. So it just comes with being a Baltimore Raven, I guess.
But no, man, we can't have that. We cannot have if there's anything that we need, if there's one thing that we need on our offense, it's consistency, especially from our receivers because they have limited opportunities. So if you're dropping the ball, that is huge. That's
But
detrimental.
we have a guy who dropped 1 pass in college, another guy who only dropped 3. We don't use them.
Yeah, you're right about that. And
I mean,
that's
that's what we've been trying to say. If you don't want dropping problems, you got 2 guys who have proven hands.
yeah. I don't know what it is. Maybe this is why like I wish I could have like that inside scoop be like in the training camp or whatever. Like see what they're seeing. Like are these guys just not producing in practice
Right.
or like are they not separating at all when they are given opportunities to run, a wide receiver? I don't know what it is, but you would hope to see like we always say, hopefully we get a preseason this upcoming season, and we can see
Please.
them in action and hopefully that'll translate into the next regular season. But going back to the whole, picks versus players thing, I kind of want, the Rain Gang, and I'm sorry if you guys have already put this in there already. If we were to trade Orlando Brown, would you prefer the Baltimore Ravens to receive picks or players? And please drop that in the chat. And if you have players, then let us know which players that they are.
Right.
Yeah.
I think an ideal trade package, like completely non-biased, I feel a late first, a third, and a fifth is fair for Orlando Brown. I think that would be. I'm not. If the highest, if we could get like a mid first round, I'd be happy with that. Maybe like a fifth rounder, but a late first, a third, and a fifth for him, I think is fair. I could be wrong, but I just feel we're not asking because what they got for Laramie Tunsil, the Dolphins, is just completely like that was blown out of proportion. That was Bill O'Brien being a dumbass. Right. But we're not asking for that, but we're asking for something that help us out and help them out.
Yeah. Yeah. So you said like a late first though.
Yeah. So if we get like a late first, a third, and a fifth.
Okay.
Now a mid first and a fifth, I think, is also fair too, but it depends what that team is looking like.
Let's see. So the majority of the Rain Gang is saying picks. Our guy John James, shout out to John James, always a regular.
Always coming through.
Always coming through. He says players. I'm kind of curious to know, John James, if you're listening, what players would you want? And then I just want to know what your thought process on that is. But I would definitely probably say picks as well, because I feel like we can develop our offense with the players that we have if we utilize the guys that we were just talking about. Devin Duvernay, Prochet, guys like that. Man. But it is tough, though, because there are some good players out there. Like we said, Chris Godwin, if we were able to finesse him some way. Allen Robinson is the biggest one. Corey Davis is one for you that, you said is good value. I actually want to bring up some highlights from some of those players and see, kind of what we would be getting from them. And just somebody who's realistically, I think the top two realistic players that we would get is probably Allen Robinson or Kenny Golladay, right?
That's what... They're out of our price range, but I feel that is our need. That is the glaring need. A big body physical receiver.
That's the thing, though, and I think that like Eric DaCosta, he's the type of GM where he's gonna make one big move every offseason in order to set him up for success in the next season. So I think that big splash move might be getting in an Allen Robinson or getting in Kenny Golladay, even if it does mean that we have to cut the check a little bit. And we know we're going to have to cut fat around the team and other places as well. So that'll be coming up too. And then, of course, we always draft really well. I feel like we always draft really well. So I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised if we did go out and get somebody like an Allen Robinson or someone like that. John James actually says he likes Godwin or Robinson.
Because if you can get the receiver you need, you have the draft to get yourself a center. Get yourself a right guard, right tackle.
Right.
And then, obviously we need secondary help. I mean, we always need a corner. Could use a backup safety. And then you never know. I mean, maybe a tight end.
Yeah.
And I think we're supposed to be getting a 5th round comp pick from Michael Pierce too. I think that's the round it's in. So I think we should have like 6 or 7 picks this year.
How would you, just real quick, how would you feel? You mentioned tight end. How would you feel if we traded deeper into the first round, and we picked up Kyle Pitts, the tight end from Florida?
That would be lethal.
And we had Kyle Pitts and Mark Andrews.
That would definitely mean Andrews is gone if we got Kyle Pitts. Would you agree?
Oh man, I don't know. I feel like, how many years does Mark Andrews have left on his contract?
Last year.
1. This is his last season. Yeah, you're right. I guess it would be like kind of like a prove it year, because we'd have Kyle Pitts for a while, and then at the end of the day we could end up trading either one of them, but at the end of the day we'd have both of them locked up for what 2-3 years. We just have to pay Mark. I don't know how much we pay Mark though. That's the thing. I don't know how much Mark would ask for. That's the whole.
So I think we have 6 picks. And I think we'll make some trades. We'll trade
Yeah.
back. We'll get some more. There's 6 right now. I wouldn't be surprised at the end of the draft we have 8 or 9 players picked because we always trade back.
Yeah.
We traded back twice in the 2018 draft when we got Lamar. We traded back in. That was a wild night. Yeah. I'm also an edge rusher too. So totally forgot about the whole edge rusher thing too.
I mean, do you really want edge rusher right now? Like, is that like something that you would prioritize? Top 3?
Second round. I think, yeah, that's definitely a top 3 need. Definitely edge rusher is a need. I would go lineman number 1 just because that's what our team, the run game is what we're sending around. It's not going to change.
Right.
Receiver 2 and then edge 3.
Okay.
What's your top 3 needs?
Top 3 needs, I would probably say lineman 1, lineman 1, receiver 2, and I would say DB 3.
Okay.
I would say DB 3, and I think 2 and 3 might be interchangeable between wide receiver and DB. Best player available at the time. If we can get who we can get, I wouldn't be mad at it.
Kind of like what happened with J.K. Dobbins last year. Best player available.
Exactly.
That was a pretty good pick, I'd say.
Yeah, it was an awesome pick. J.K. Dobbins should make a pretty big step from this year to next year too. That should help the offense. But we're talking about receivers and stuff like that, which is what we would probably get in exchange for Orlando Brown in some way if we were exchanging for players or trading for players. So Allen Robinson is probably the top candidate that Ravens fans everywhere are talking about. Maybe the Ravens getting
Photoshop swaps. They're everywhere. You see it.
They're
I see
everywhere, man. They're everywhere. So we'll see. Some Allen Robinson highlights here. If you guys, I just want to see kind of what we would be getting with bringing in Allen Robinson to the Ravens, because we all know we need a big body receiver who has a big catch radius, who can just go up and make a play, and create separation, especially in heat of the moment games. So yeah,
kind of like an Anquan Bolden type receiver. 3rd and 1, you throw it up there, he'll get you 15.
Exactly. And then also guys who, like you can see here, just yak yardage. That's one thing. Is it lagging for you?
A little bit, but you can see what's going on. So it's fine.
Okay.
Like that type of catch, it's our tight ends are the only players who can make that catch on the team, I think. I don't think our receivers can make this type of catch.
Ooh, not Boykin. Boykin can't make that catch.
Will he lay his body on the line for it? I haven't seen him do that,
I haven't seen him do it. You're right.
I've seen Boyle do it. I've seen Andrews do it.
Yeah.
That's about it. That too, just going up and getting it. That's definitely what we need.
And getting up with attitude.
What do you think realistically is the right price range per year for a guy like Allen Robinson?
Oh man, honestly, what do you pay an Allen Robinson? Because what is he making now in Chicago?
I can pull it up. I saw he was gonna want around 20 mil a year, which is
20 a year.
Yeah.
Not with Lamar coming up. I don't know if we can't do 20 a year.
He signed a 3-year, $42 million contract with the Bears with a $6 million signing bonus.
Okay.
He is 27 years old.
Yeah.
So he's making $14 million a year with the Bears. I feel really 17.5 is fair.
Yeah.
20 I think is a little too much. Way too much.
Yeah, that's a little much, and I don't think that we'll be able to, throw him 20 mil a year with Lamar coming
that.
Up.
Please tell me, receiver, that catch.
Yeah, just kind of throw it up and go get. But see, we don't even design plays like that though. That's the thing. We would never.
We'll get a new passing game coordinator soon, but we'll be getting a new coordinator who can actually call those type of plays. Because you can have the best receivers in the world, and if you don't have the right plays, then it's not going to work.
Yeah,
so there's a lot of work.
Guys open.
Exactly. Like that, just smart thinking. Because there are certain guys on the team that would have tried to catch that, and they're out of bounds.
Right. That's a catch on third down right there.
I'm jealous. Wish we could have that.
Another third down play. Just
Wide
open.
open.
Separation. Just wide open. And then fighting for more yards, stiff arming a guy on his way down. You know, I mean, we could definitely use an Allen Robinson, but 20 mil a year, nah, we wouldn't be able to afford it. Especially
Or
with us
or
being,
Jalen Ramsey.
yeah, that is on Jalen Ramsey. I just think like with us being such a run heavy offense, we're not going to be able to, give him the amount of opportunities that 20 million would warrant. You know what I mean?
Exactly. I mean,
Yeah,
if he wants to win, I say obviously come here.
right.
But I think maybe is money the deal breaker at this point in his career? 27 years old, off of a $42 million contract. Is that all, or does he want to win? Because he had that one good season with the Jaguars,
Yeah.
but since then he was in the playoffs this year, but they didn't do anything. They lost.
Just tough
Third
contested
and 15
catches. Contested catches. That's just
with
what
the
you have
game
to like.
with the game on the line, overtime, third and 15, deep in your own territory.
Yeah.
Doesn't get much.
Go up and get it. Back shoulder.
He's a Titan killer. I mean, it's the right
Wow.
move.
Yeah. Honestly, I like these highlights a lot. And I know they're just highlights, but just guys, just seeing somebody like this who has this sort of, potential to be that type of receiver on our team. It's just like we need that. We need that. And like we've been missing that for so long, ever since 2012, it seems like. And the closest that we got back to is when we had Steve Smith. And Steve Smith was still a little guy in himself. So it's like,
I,
to have a guy like with his frame and his ability and, just his prowess, because like I said, he has attitude as well. Like he gets up after making a big play and he's like in the other team's face, like celebrating everything like that. We need that. We need that mojo. We need that skill. We need that ability on our offense. We need a guy like this.
6'3".
Yeah,
6'3". Yes, that is
exactly.
everything we need.
This is what Boykin should have been.
I don't even want to talk about it because you're right. You're right. He should have been. But I mean, he will go up and make catches, but they'll be uncontested. I mean, I think
Yeah,
about the game against the Jaguars. He was like a 5-yard touchdown bet, but he went up there, jumped forward, and caught it. But with somebody on him, that's what we need.
yeah.
But we haven't seen that.
Jace Wood says he attacks the ball. Exactly.
Yeah,
You need a guy
gotta
like
agree.
that. Yeah. Maximize your opportunities and, now, of course, we have other receivers on our team as well. Hollywood Brown is another one that, we'll have to see what kind of step he takes up, what kind of step up he takes next year. Like, how big of a step up do you think that Hollywood Brown will take next year? Like, with a new passing coordinator, maybe he's getting schemed open down the field a little bit more. Do you expect him to have, like, another, like, a breakout season? Because he started to show flashes of that in
Yeah.
the end of last season.
I'm not gonna go 1,000 yards because that's just unrealistic. I'd say for our offense.
Hmm.
Um, let me see how many receptions he had, and then we can all talk about it.
Yeah.
So this past year, he had 769 reception yards on 58 catches.
Hmm.
He averaged 13 yards a catch and 8 touchdowns. I think let's shoot for the double-digit touchdowns next year. I think that's
Double
fair.
digits? Yeah.
I think that's fair, and then hope 60 catches, 800 plus yards, and 10 or more touchdowns. I think that's fair.
Yeah. Honestly, I think that's fair as well. Maybe 11, 12 touchdowns. I think that would be a pretty good number. 11 or 12 is still, a good amount for sure. He's going to have a couple really good games, but I think that's definitely possible. Absolutely. I definitely think it's
Our
possible.
stream got suspended.
Oh, really?
Yeah, for
Oh,
policy notifications.
oh, wow.
Wow.
I mean, we're still live, aren't we?
No, it just says stream unavailable.
Oh,
They're saying what happened. Damn, YouTube, some bitches with a B in the front. NFL moves quick. All right, we're back. Cool, we're back.
we're back.
That's crazy. That's crazy about the
That is
NFL.
hilarious.
We can't even.
Oh, and they have like a guy. They have a guy like just watching out. Just
Literally.
like
Li- But they
looking for
won't. But they
streams.
won't. They won't put money towards what actually needs fixing, like the referees. But let's put
Right.
towards a guy just
Well,
watching streams. Come on.
right. Exactly. Like, or they can't. I've always said this. They can come out with like better technology to like track the football and stuff like that, so we can make the game better and the integrity of the game better. But no, we just want to spend money on taking highlights off of the
Take
internet.
taking a small channel on YouTube, just trying to entertain people. I
Right.
got you. Cool.
Basically free advertisement.
And mind you, we make not 1 cent off of this,
No, no,
but
not a
we're
penny.
come on. All right, so
Oh
back to what we
man.
were saying. The
Yeah.
realistic expectations for Brown. I don't know when we cut off,
Right.
but we both agree. This year he had 58 receptions for 769 yards and 8 touchdowns. We
Yeah.
both agree. Let's shoot for over 60 catches, 800 plus yards, and double-digit touchdowns. Rain game. Do you think that is realistic for Marquise Brown? I think
Mm.
he'll take the next step. He'll get double-digit touchdowns. Hopefully, get that average to above 15 yards a catch. That would be big for the offense.
Yeah.
And just being a threat.
Yeah. And now, it's just the thing is, like, I'll be very, very curious to see who we bring in as the offensive passing coordinator for this upcoming season, or who's, if anybody. But just to see what type of schemes that they'll be drawing up, because Hollywood Brown, he's the type of receiver that you want to have good schemes, good routes drawn up for him, good plays drawn up for him, or else he's probably not going to. He's not going to be, beating man coverage like that unless he's like, going deep and stuff like that. Sometimes he gets over the middle and he can like kind of sit in
Yeah.
that zone. But other than that, I don't know, man. I don't know about. You know how I feel about Hollywood Brown, man. You know how I feel about Hollywood. It's just so tough because he's on and off. He had like a very, slow start to last season, and then this season coming up, I think this is gonna be his make or break year. And I saw somebody put in the chat like Hollywood might be gone, and I feel like if it's possible, bro, it's possible. I feel like it's totally possible with the direction that our team is going. I feel like they might move away from him if we do bring in somebody like an Allen Robinson and they start performing. And it's like, okay, we're just going to go ahead and pay this guy and try again with another receiver, because I don't know if I just don't know, man. I don't know if they're going to sign him to a big deal.
Do you think Allen Robinson could be that guy to maybe help Marquise Brown shoot up? You know, I mean, we saw like look at when Diggs went into Buffalo. It turned Cole Beasley into an All-Pro second team receiver. Beasley was never like that. Even with the Cowboys, he's reliable, but wasn't an All-Pro type caliber receiver. So, but maybe that number one guy could allow Marquise Brown to just get some more catches. You know,
Yeah, my biggest thing is though, like he's undersized. He's undersized a little bit, and I just think the way that our offense is set up, we are probably better off with like bigger receivers who are going to have that bigger catch radius. And when you're playing with a quarterback like Lamar Jackson, who, a lot of his passes are made outside of the pocket, and I know Hollywood Brown, he really stepped up late in last season, but I really hope that. And I'm really hoping, this is me as a Hollywood fan, I just want the best for him. I really want him to have that like breakout season. I thought it was going to be this season, after all of the the training videos and everything like that, and him getting the screws out of his foot, all of that, and we just didn't see it for the greater part of the season. So needless to say, I was a little bit disappointed. So I just think that the Ravens organization is going to have a very close eye on him. And I know our guys from Lunch Break Hot Take said that Hollywood is going to his third year. He's fine. I agree. But, at the same time, we're going to have to get ready to start paying, him too. He's gonna want his deal.
we have him for two
And
more years. Well,
two more
I mean, we can
years.
always get the fifth year option. I think we'll take that up. But You said he's undersized.
Mm.
Tyreek Hill is 5'10", 185. Marquise Brown is 5'9", 181. What is it that's stopping him from being a Tyreek Hill? But
I don't know.
I think it's the scheme, and I think it's the people drawing up the plays. Because Tyreek Hill took a simple, what was it, like a slant route? He
Mm.
turned 10 yards into 70 yards out. He ran like combined almost like 130 yards, just going back and forth.
Yeah.
I can't put that on Marquise Brown. The hands is what you can put on him. That's the only thing. And maybe the fact he doesn't take contact. He has a full off season. Get on some meat, take a hit or two. But if you want to be a top receiver in this league, you're gonna have to get hit. That's the game.
Yeah. I understand. I just like I agree. I agree with some of you guys in the chat. Like I said, our guys from Lunch Break hot take. He's going to his third year. He's fine. I agree with you. We have him for 2 more years. I just see that like the way that our organization is moving, we seem to be, and we kind of talked about this before we went on air. Like you know how like the big market cities they are always kind of in win now mode. Like they have to make those moves. It feels like we're doing that. It feels like we have a window. You know what I mean? And if we can get some picks or something like that, or maybe a I don't know, a player for an expendable player, which unofficial step Godfather, he says Hollywood is expendable. As unfortunate as it may be, same thing with like the whole Orlando Brown thing. As unfortunate as it may be, this is a business. I don't know if we'll keep him after those 2 years. I think that's the biggest thing that I'm saying. Like I think that after those 2 years, I don't know if we keep him. It just really depends on, of course, how he performs. And I know you're predicting 10 plus touchdowns. You said 800 plus yards, right? Next
Yeah,
season. Yeah,
that's the thing. I'm not gonna predict it, but that's what I want him to do.
that's what you right. Yeah, that's what you want.
That
And
should be what the Ravens fans expect. Not going from zero to hero, but just small little improvements that can take us to the next level.
but
Because if everybody improves,
you just never know what to expect from this Ravens team when it comes to the offensive side of the football. Though we've had an identity crisis for a decade, damn near, and it's just like passing the ball is just it isn't our strength. The cat's out of the bag. It just isn't. And I feel like the type of receivers that we need, it doesn't fit Hollywood's description. And that's just what I'm saying. But I do believe that Hollywood can take that step up. Maybe he can become a Tyreek Hill. I really do hope so, Alex. I do. I really do.
that's the ceiling I think for receivers, his size and weight. That's what you be. You're not going to be like an Allen Robinson, but that's what you should do. Just make something out of nothing. And like the
Yeah.
comment on our last video said, why are we happy with good enough? And I think I could feel just the passion coming out of you. You're like, why is like the cat's out of the bag? I felt that. Like
Yeah.
it shouldn't be. It's not like we're a high school team. We're not a college team.
Right.
There's millions, tens, hundreds of millions of dollars going into these teams, and the fact that they can't be good at more than one thing is laughable. You're a
Exactly.
professional team. You shouldn't be. Oh well, we're not good at that. Let's be good. No, like, and fans shouldn't have to deal with that. So I felt that in my heart, just the pain, because that's
Pain.
not how it should be.
Yeah. Uh. Oh my gosh. So let's see. So we've talked about Orlando Brown stuff, right? And then of course Nick Boyle. We talked about him. He got his deal. That is great. If you missed last week's episode, by the way, our guy Alex actually met Nick Boyle. So if you want to see kind of the recap from that, watch last week's episode. That was super dope. My
Then he
dog
got
is
signed.
currently barking outside of my door. I might let you guys meet my dog. I'm gonna let you guys meet my dog, and we'll get into the next
Listen,
topic.
we're gonna have our first, our third special guest actually, your dog. Okay, so while waiting on his dog, tell me how it's going. I know in Maryland right now we are getting hit by snow. I've been shoveling like every hour. It sucks. How are you guys making out? How bad is the snow around your way? I know the roads here are like covered. But yeah, just let us know. If you can see what they're saying, I'm just asking how you know the snow's going on.
So guys, this is my dog. His name is actually Alex, which is pretty hilarious. But he says hi. Say hi.
Now he doesn't want to say anything.
Right now he's shy. Now he's
Camera
shy. He was
shy.
just barking. Yeah, super camera shy. But it's cool though. What were we talking about, bro? We were talking about some other NFL stuff.
I was asking about the weather,
Um,
in Maryland. We got a lot of Maryland
Oh
viewers.
yeah.
I would hope just how everybody's making out.
Oh yeah. Over here, down here in I live in Southern Maryland, guys. And down here, we were supposed to get like they were saying, oh yeah, it's supposed to be like 8 to 10 inches of snow. It's gonna be really bad. You're not gonna be able to get out your house, this and that. And I was like, okay. But it never really snows like that down here. And once again, it did the same thing. It barely even snowed. And, the roads are fine. It's a little bit slick outside in certain spots. Like my front steps are like super duper slick. And I'm like paranoid, like literally paranoid of like slipping and falling on ice. That's like a huge phobia that I have. I cannot stand it. So, but yeah, it wasn't so bad here.
Yeah, like I was saying, it was pretty bad here. To be in Hawaii right now, honestly, to be in Hawaii, the things I would do.
Oh yeah.
Things are not bad.
Jason
Okay.
Lewis says Catonsville. Unknown Goat says I'm in Kentucky. It was snowing earlier. Shout out to you, Unknown Goat, all the way from Kentucky. Let's see. Cam Neal says no snow yet. Hit Kansas. Weather is random. Kansas. Okay. Are you a Chiefs fan or a Ravens fan? Let's see. Living Legend says Alex was good. Yeah, he says what's up. Uh,
With the
Click One
emoji and
says
that.
all ice. Right. Yeah.
It is. Like, you couldn't even. It's not even the type of snow where you can go out and play football if you wanted to. Because if you try to make a catch, you're just going to get straight ice and it's going to hurt like hell.
Yeah. Absolutely. Peyton says she's in Charleston, South Carolina. No snow, just rain. Wow.
Sheesh.
So, I don't know, man. I think the rain is probably worse than the snow in some instances. I hate driving in the rain, man. I hate it. I
Really? I
cannot
hate driving in the snow.
stand it. I
I
mean, in
can't.
the snow, you just take it a little bit slow. It's all good. But in the rain, it's like I'm slipping and sliding everywhere. It's just, I don't know. People seem to not know how to drive in the rain. Like in the snow, everybody's cautious because it's like, okay, it's snowing. You gotta be careful. But in the rain, people are just all wild and crazy. And I can't stand it.
In the rain, it's like Need for Speed out there. Some people are
Right.
just going by. I'm like, oh, all right. You can go ahead and do that. So I think we covered a lot of the Ravens stuff.
Yeah.
Any Ravens questions while we're here? We got other NFL news to, get started on. And I know we might ruffle some feathers because a big trade happened. But just know first up, any questions, let us know. And then while you put them in on Thursday, it's our special Super Bowl episode.
Yes.
Can't wait. I'm looking forward to that one. Just predictions, analyzing. Last game of the 2020 season. And maybe a season recap because it was a weird season, but we're going to get through it. So
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to that. It's going to be a good game.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So, in terms of the other NFL news, the biggest news that came out a couple of days ago was that our guy, Matthew Stafford and Jared Goff switched teams. Jared Goff is now on the Lions. Matthew Stafford is now on the Rams. It's kind of crazy, and I kind of want to get your opinion on it, Alex. Like, what was your initial reactions, initial thoughts? Rain Gang, I want to know what you guys thought about it as well. What did you guys think about that trade? Did you like it? Did you not like it? What did you think?
As, I'm not going to say a Rams fan, the Rams fan, nonetheless.
Yeah.
I didn't like it. They got fleeced. They got fleeced to the core. I get Matthew Stafford, can make them a championship contender. I don't believe in that bullshit. What has he done? I'm just gonna, like I said, they gave up 2 first-round picks. I get they got to eat the contract of Jared Goff,
Right.
but the Rams, that's gonna make it 8 years in a row they have not had a first-round pick. That's maybe they're trying to do something different. They're still doing pretty good without the picks, but what do you feel about it? I just feel the Lions easily won that one. I mean, I think they have you can start, if you're a Lions fan, you can start believing. New regime, getting rid of just the old and in with the new.
Right.
And, I mean, they got DeAndre Swift look really good. Jeff Okudah, number 4 or 3 pick from last year.
Right.
I definitely think the Lions won it easily.
Yeah. Let's see. The Rain Gang in here says, we got our guy KLA Sports in here. What's up, KLA?
Yes.
Shout
He
out
told
to
me,
him.
he actually, on Twitter, he was like, all it said, he split streaming the stream, so thank you for that one. It's pretty tough.
Let's see. Yeah, Caitlin, Sheba, Fran. Devon Johnson says both franchises win, not an upgrade for the Rams.
Yeah.
Let's see. Jace Wood says golf overrated and overpaid. Unofficial step Godfather says, how about Detroit is getting screwed? Now,
Oh,
see what I think about it. I think we were also talking about this before the show. You know, just like I said, those big market teams. You know,
yeah.
L.A., the Rams, they want to win now. They feel like they were just in the Super Bowl. They were so close. They almost tasted sweet victory, and they just fell short to the Patriots in the Super Bowl, and they're trying to get back immediately. You know what I mean? So I don't know, man. I think the Lions definitely won the trade. I agree with you. Uh, they're setting themselves up for the future. Like Jared Goff, he's not a bad quarterback. I feel like you can start believing absolutely, like you said, if you are a Lions fan, because out with the old and in with the new. And you're getting Matthew Stafford. How old is Matthew Stafford off the top of your head? Do you know?
32, I think. I think he's 32.
32. Okay, so you're getting Matthew Stafford. He's still, he's got some good years left in him. Definitely, for sure. I think that's what the whole premise of their logic was when they were, talking about making this trade, that, he's still got some good years left in him and they feel like they can go to the Super Bowl with him. I don't know about that part. That's my problem with it. It's like, do you really think that making this move makes you a Super Bowl contender just automatically? And what were you saying about Matthew Stafford before the show?
I feel like, okay, he's 0-3 in the playoffs.
Mm,
Funny. I mean, I have been seeing nothing but praise. Oh, this is a great, the Rams, they went out there, they had a need, and they got it in the quarterback.
right,
What exactly has he done?
right.
Like, I get, it's the Lions and all, but you give Calvin Johnson, arguably one of the best to do it, Golden Tate in his prime, Kenny Galladay, Marvin Jones, TJ Hawkinson, they drafted Eric Ebron. He had weapons around him. All right. Um, Jared Goff, I mean, had weapons too, but I'm not too sure. You're muted right now.
Yeah, I know, bro.
Yeah. Okay, my bad. Yeah, so I was like, I'm not too sure. Like that doesn't make him a championship contender. And where is the slander that our quarterback gets? Because if he were to be 0-3, you would never hear the end of it. That's just me.
Yeah, yeah, you're right. You have a very, very valid point there. And again, that's why I think that, the Rams did not win this trade. They did not win this trade. Like, I don't think that they're going to be a Super Bowl contender by getting Matthew Stafford on their team. Now, of course, Matthew Stafford, he makes some cool sidearm passes. He's done some no look things and everything like that. I know he also has that baseball background, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
So he's cool to watch, and I really like Matthew Stafford. He's been in the league for a long time now, and he's been consistent. But it's like painfully consistent. It's like he hasn't been like anything like special. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And it's just like, why
And
would you think that something like that is going to get you to the Super Bowl within the next 2 to 3 years?
right, it's not like Aaron Rodgers. I mean come on. If it's him, then yeah, he
Yeah.
was what he done in the past couple of years. Um, I just
Right.
and I mean you can say, oh, it's the NFC North, really, because Mitch Trubisky and Matt Nagy won that same division a few years ago.
Yeah.
So I really can't hop one. Oh, it's the Lions and all this. Like, if they were such a bad organization, why the hell were you there for so long?
Yeah.
Did you want to win that bad? Because there's quarterbacks who will leave because they want to win. That's just how I see it. So I think for the first time in his career, Matt Stafford will actually be criticized by the media, which is something I have never seen before.
Yeah. I mean, because he's in LA. Like you said, he's in
Yeah,
LA now. So you got to perform. And if you don't perform, it's, hey, throw him away, toss him to the side, on to the next one. And that's just how it goes with those big market teams. Jonathan Washington Jr. says, if Rams don't win a Super Bowl, then sheesh. They just lost almost a decade of first round picks.
they traded a first for Cooks, and then they had a first for Dante Fowler,
Hmm.
two for Jalen Ramsey, and then two for Stafford. It's just they just throw their first round picks away. I don't get
Yeah.
it, but
Yeah. Absolutely. And there was like the disrespect about Lamar Jackson. I saw somebody put on Twitter earlier this week. They're like, "Oh, this is talking about like Deshaun Watson." Since we're talking about like quarterbacks who are making moves this offseason, they're saying like, "Oh, if you're the Ravens, do you trade for Deshaun Watson?" And it's just like, what? Like really? Like come on, man.
Let me pull it up real quick
Yeah.
because it's about to get disrespectful in here real quick. Real quick. All right. Where is it at? Come on now. Where's this tweet at? Okay, here we go. I'm just curious. Forget the age for a second. Who would you rather have your team trade for if you want to win if you want a ring in the next 3 years? 3,600 votes. Matt Stafford 52%. Lamar Jackson 48%. At TFG underscore football. He has YouTube channel. Okay, he has. I'm like I said, I'm getting disrespectful up in here. 54,000 subs. How the fuck did you get 54,000 subs making tweets like that? Honestly, like, what? Like, why would you even put that out? And I know exactly why. Because you know Lamar will get you clicks. That's the only reason why. The only reason you can clip this out. I don't give a shit at this point. Because that right there has to be the worst tweet I think I've read. And I've had this app for like 10 years. Like, what?
Yeah, that is a pretty bad tweet. I don't understand, like, what would drive you to believe that we need to get rid of Lamar Jackson after his bro? Listen, he what is his record? He's like what 32-7 or 8 or something like that.
30.
What is it? It's like breaking up a little bit.
Oh, he's 30-7 as a starter.
30-7, like come on, man. Like he wins like so many of his games. He's beat Deshaun Watson twice, and it's like you guys are not. Oh my god, it's so disrespectful, man. I wanted to tweet something about it. I felt so disgusted about it. I didn't even tweet about it. I just ignored it. I was like, this is ridiculous, and you bring up some great points. I just don't get people, and like you said, he probably is just fiending for the clicks, fiending for the likes, and that's why he, says something like that. But it just doesn't make sense to me.
Can I bring us a cool little tidbit, real quick?
Sure.
Yeah, all right. Let me see how many years he has been in the league. Let me just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, 12 to 13 years in the league. Perfect. His best year throwing touchdowns, because let's just bring out facts that don't matter. He had 41 touchdowns in 2011. That is the only year he ever had more than Lamar Jackson in his career. He hasn't even hit close to that since. Don't even think about putting them in the same breath at this point. Like, really?
Yeah. I think it's really just a matter of people, the masses, they only really get to see Lamar play in those big games, like playoff games, and we've lost all of those games. Like most of them actually, but we've lost most of those games. And in those games, he didn't perform well. He didn't throw the ball well, and I feel like that's probably what they're judging him off of the most. Like people saw that pick six against Buffalo, and they're like, oh yeah, that's the Lamar we definitely take Matthew Stafford and Deshaun Watson over him any day at quarterback. But it's like Lamar wins games. But what were you about to say?
In that same year, he threw 41 touchdowns. Calvin Johnson had 96 receptions for close to 1,700 yards.
Wow. Yeah. Getting bailed out, too.
He had 16 touchdowns himself. 16 touchdowns for one person. Come on now. Like, just please stop it. I will. Oh, man. Guys like that, I don't know why the hell they have that much of a following just to make dumbass takes like that.
Yeah.
Kind of like Colin Cowherd. I'm going to bring up something else because I saw it right before we went on air today. Right before. He said, if I'm the Raiders, I'd trade Derek Carr, Darren Waller, and 4 first-round picks for Deshaun Watson. I think. What?
Hey, wait, how many picks?
4. My issue is adding Darren Waller into it because that's their best weapon in Oakland, in Las Vegas. Yeah. So putting Watson on the Raiders without Waller is just like putting him in Houston version 2. He'll have Henry Ruggs and Hunter Renfrow.
Yeah, Ruggs, Renfrow.
Then Josh Jacobs at running back. Aguilar's a free agent.
Oh, he's free agent. Oh,
and Whitney retired, so you would have no tight ends.
That's right. Yeah. I mean, Honestly, I don't know. I don't know if I would see. I don't know if I could see that happening at all. I don't. I think Colin Coward is definitely tripping on that one, because Waller and like somebody said in the chat, Waller is definitely a top three tight end. Like he's a top three tight end. You
Easily.
cannot let that go. It's very hard to come by good tight ends in this league. So you got to hold on to him for
And they
sure.
only pay him 9 mil a year.
Yeah, yeah. It's a
Like that's
steal.
a
He's a
team
steal too.
friendly contract.
Right.
I just people with these man, they get a little bit of just a platform and don't know what to do with it. Oh my god.
Yeah, man. It's like it's crazy. It's crazy because Colin Coward. I mean, Colin Coward. He says a lot of like outlandish stuff as well. Like he actually had the Ravens going 16-0 before the season
He
started.
cursed us before it happened. He cursed us before the Madden curse. We got our curse.
Yeah. But he's normally like on the Ravens side, so I can't really slight him too
I just
much.
didn't. I just don't know what the hell that's like. Okay, I get. I think in order to get Watson, you have to give up your quarterback if he is good enough. He's above average,
Hmm.
and obviously a pick or two. But Waller too. I no.
Yeah, you got to keep Waller for sure if you're the Raiders. That's pretty much like your claim to fame right there. Now, I mean, I don't think that they just don't have enough. They can't bring in a Deshaun Watson. I still think his most likely landing destinations is what, San Francisco, and who was the other team that we were talking about for him?
The Jets and the
The
Dolphins.
the Jets, right?
Hey, he
You know
went.
how I
He
feel about
wants.
Sam
He
Darnold.
wanted. Yeah, he wanted to be with Robert Sala, but I'm so happy you brought up the just the quarterbacks controversy going on because this is going to be one of the craziest off seasons ever. I'm looking for the tweet now, but I'm just going to read out some of the teams who made an offer for Matt Stafford, and there's going to be a lot of QB moves this
Yeah.
off season. Um, I know the Washington football team. I just want to get this tweet up because I know exactly what they offered and everything. Um, I can't find it. Shoot.
Yeah, man. I just think that. Wait, are you hearing that static? I'm kind of hearing that static too.
I am not. I can.
You're not? Okay. Maybe it's just me. Sorry if you
Is that?
guys can hear the static, the technical difficulties. We've been kind of dealing with this issue for a couple of episodes now. We're still trying to figure it out. But yeah, man. Let's see. The Texans want two first. KLA Sports says the Texans want two first, 2 seconds, and two young defensive starters. The Jets could make that trade. That's why they're so like likely to, for that to actually happen. But I don't know. I think I see San Francisco making that push. I think I see San Francisco making that push because they're also in win now mode. They were in the Super Bowl just last season,
Yeah.
so I feel like they could definitely try for that.
Okay. So here are the teams that offered a pick for Matt Stafford. The Panthers offered the number 8 pick overall and a late round choice.
Right.
Washington offered the number 19 pick and a third rounder. The Colts never offered their number 21 pick, but they discussed other packages. The Niners never made an official offer, and the Jets only checked in.
Mm.
I,
So that's a. I mean, how many teams is that total? That's how many did you just say?
that was, I believe, where's it at?
This
5.
was says the Patriots too.
He may have, but I know Stafford did not want to go to the Patriots. I think because Matt Patricia is a coach there again, and also the
Oh yeah.
Broncos offered a package with a pick and Drew Lock, and they picked the Rams one because it had the 2 first round picks.
Wow, that's interesting though. The Broncos willing to part ways with Drew Lock for
Yeah,
Matthew Stafford. That's interesting in itself. A lot of quarterback controversy, as you said.
it is. I
I
mean,
mean,
it's gonna be. We'll get some more answers after the draft. I'd say. I
I
mean,
think we'll talk
because
about teams that need a quarterback.
we'll have to.
Yeah,
We'll have
that'll
to.
definitely.
I mean, we'll
We'll
find
talk about
out.
that.
I mean, what the Jets do at number 2. Because they
Right,
can go many a ways now, especially if they get somebody get Watson if they want to stick with Darnold.
Right.
It's just like I said, it's gonna be a crazy offseason. So gotta get buckled up and get ready for it.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Listen, guys, you guys have been watching the Purple Rain podcast. Make sure you like the video, subscribe to the channel as well. We're going to actually get into our questions segment right now. If you guys have any questions for Simply AS10 over there and Sutton Def, myself, you guys can go ahead and throw that in the chat right now. If you're watching this stream after the fact, you can go ahead and throw that question in the comment section below, and we will bring it up in the next episode, kind of like we did earlier. So yeah. But yeah, man, it's going to be a very interesting off season. I know we were talking about like the important dates and stuff like that. I think the draft is April 29th, I believe. Was that the correct date that I
Yeah,
said?
I think so.
Yeah. It'll be very interesting to see what we have going on there. Let's see.
Then, I mean, I'm just looking forward to the draft again. I mean, just
Oh yeah,
the day two, day
definitely.
three.
Right.
It's gonna be interesting to see what we do and what how everything unfolds. Where what we decide to do with our first round pick. I think there's still a strong possibility we could trade back or even trade out of the first round, depending what we're offered.
Yeah.
Just you can't. Everything's on the table for this team. Everything.
Yeah. It is. It is. So we got a couple questions rolling in already. Ewok Plays says, "Who scores the first touchdown in the Super Bowl?" That's a good question. Good question.
Good question.
Who do I think scores the first touchdown in the Super Bowl? I'm gonna say Leonard Fournette. I'm gonna
I'm
say
going
Leonard
playoff
Fournette.
Lenny too.
Yeah, I'm gonna go
Got to be
Lenny.
playoff Lenny.
I think the Bucks, they kind of marched down the field on their opening drive. They kind of set up shop at the goal line or near the goal line, and Lenny takes it in. I feel like that's how
Has
he
to.
does it. Yeah,
And the Chiefs always go down early. They'll
yeah,
spot you some points and they always just come back.
right.
So
Yeah,
I think it's got to be the Bucks who score first.
that's true. That's true. Let's see. Keeping it real. What's
What
going
is
on,
up?
guys? What's going on, man? We appreciate you for coming through.
Thank you.
Uh, Make sure you guys go ahead and subscribe to his channel. Keeping it real has a lot of dope content coming out like every day. Like every day, he's posting consistently, and that's what you love to see. If you are a part of the Ravens YouTube community or just the NFL YouTube community, you love to see consistency.
That's
So
what it's
make sure you
about.
go ahead and subscribe to his channel. Also, our guys from Lunch Break Hot Take, subscribe to their channel as well. But any more questions we have in here, let us know. Let's see. Who do you think? Tyler Sugar. Hopefully, I pronounced that right.
Hopefully.
Sugar. Oh yeah. He says, "Who do you think will be franchise tagged for us?"
Ooh. Ooh. May I don't know. That's a good question. Maybe nobody. Does somebody deserve to get franchise tagged?
Uh,
Wait, I mean, would you tag Ngakwe or Judon?
I don't think we're gonna be able to tag Judon.
I
That's
don't.
that's not gonna be good for the relationship.
Yeah, I don't
And
think.
Gakwe, I don't
I
know
don't
if
think he
he's
gets
earned
tagged
that.
either.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know if anybody. Maybe
Yeah, I don't.
Ngakwe, if anyone.
Yeah, I don't think anybody does get the tag.
Yeah. Let's see. Yeah, the Rain Gang, they're saying Yannick, Ngakwe, for sure. KLA Sports says Judon or Ngakwe.
Or
Devon
the
Johnson
walk.
says due to cap space, they're both walking.
Yeah. Here we go. That's definitely a possibility right now.
Yeah.
I think that's the most likely thing that might happen is both of them walking.
It's crazy to think that, like, in 2 years' time, our defense could look like, 2 to 3 years' time, our defense could look like totally different.
I think you're right. I think Chuck Clark in 2 to 3 years might not be here.
Yeah.
Jimmy Smith won't be here.
Right.
Derek Wolfe, Calais Campbell, maybe Brandon Williams. All three of them might be gone in 2 to 3 years.
Exactly.
Um,
Exactly.
it could be Matt BK lining up there. Queen and Harrison, obviously.
Mm.
Deshaun Elliott, I think, will still be there. Marlon will obviously be there. Peters could be gone too. I mean, you're right. That's something I had not thought about.
Yeah. Honestly,
Wow.
it's definitely crazy to think about because we've come to like know and love like all the players that we have now. But that's why it is so important for us to draft really well. And I think that defense is going to be probably the I don't want to say the main priority, but I feel like on the back end of the draft, we're going to be drafting more defensive players. Like when we're trading back, you guys will see. I feel like we're going to draft more defensive players. Maybe DB, which I said was like a big need for us, a top three need. And then also, maybe on that line too, we might have to start investing more money into that line because as much as I love Justin Madubuike, he's no Brandon Williams yet. So we're going to need depth pieces for him once he takes that step up as well. So
I'm
yeah, man.
glad. I'm like, okay, 2 to 3 years. The 2018 Ravens defense, like, let's just talk about it. C.J. Mosley, Tony Jefferson, Eric Weddle, Patrick Owasso, Kenny Young, Brandon Carr, Jimmy Smith, Matt Judon, Zadarius Smith, Tavon Young, Humphrey Suggs, Brandon Williams, Anthony Levine, Michael Pierce, Brent Urban, Chuck Clark, Chris Wormley, Chris Board, and Tim Williams. A lot of those guys are not here anymore.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
is actually wild. It's going to look different in 2 to 3 years. That's a great point you brought up.
Yeah, man. And as that evolve, I mean, our defense always stays pretty solid. We get guys coming in and out, and our defense still stays, pretty good. But offense is just that big, seems like that big point of emphasis for our team, and it goes back to what I was saying just a couple minutes ago. We have to draft really, really well, because a lot of these players are not going to be here in the next couple years. So we have to set ourselves up good for the future, which is why this draft, and I know we were talking about this before, we're actually going to pay very, very close attention to. Me and Alex, we are going to, study the players and make sure that we know all these guys. We're going to have our own, I don't know if we're going to have our own draft boards. We're going to have, the
Definitely
Ravens,
guys
like,
to look, and obviously like mid-round guys and late-round guys to look at too.
exactly. But the most important thing is when the draft does come up, we are going to be live streaming during the draft. So
Yes.
that is going to be dope. If you want to be around for that, and trust me, you do, make sure you like this video. Make sure you subscribe to the channel as well, because Purple Rain will be putting out content all throughout the off season, just in case
I
you
would
guys are
definitely,
wondering.
I would look forward to it. Definitely look forward to it.
Absolutely.
And let's just hope there's preseason. I think preseason is like when the best type of content comes out. It's just fun. It's football games,
Oh,
but they
yeah.
don't matter. They don't matter. You can have
It's
fun.
just all fun and games. It's literally all fun and games.
Yes.
But yeah, let's see if we have any more questions here in the chat. Let's see. Terry Simmons says, "What should I bring to the draft party?" Definitely bring a lot of hot takes. Bring the passion. Bring the fire. Bring the energy.
Yes.
We want this to be like, if we make a great trade, we want everybody to be excited. If we make a bad,
Yeah.
not trade, but pick. If we make a bad pick, then I want I want us to react. I want us to be genuine in here. That's what this is all about. These are our genuine reactions, opinions. So just bring that.
Because I know I
Yes.
was ecstatic last year when
Yeah.
we got Patrick Queen. I was like, how are you letting this guy fall to us? And it
Yeah.
happened. So if we can get anything like that this year, I think it'll be some great content. It'll be fun.
Absolutely, absolutely. Real quick, I wanted to ask you about something. Do you follow Hollywood Brown on Instagram?
Of course I do.
Of course you do.
Primetime Jet.
Did you see his story from a couple of days ago when he was showing like against Patrick Queen and Madden, and like
Yeah.
they were going back and
I
forth?
saw. I saw.
I think Patrick Queen beat Hollywood and Madden like a couple days ago, I want to say. But then Marquise Brown, like, he posted on his story for the first time in like months. He was like, "Yeah, I ain't even posting for real,
Yeah.
but like, I had to set the record straight." And like, he had like, he blew out Patrick Queen and Madden like, a couple months ago, I guess. But
I used to watch him play. I remember he like streamed a few times. Like, what he'll do is he'll put himself in like a wildcat and just run it at quarterback. I'm like, now I started doing that online, and it's so good because he's just so fast. Yeah, he's just so fast. Speaking of video
I thought he did it with
games,
Lamar.
he puts himself in there too on the wildcat.
Ah,
Speaking of video games, we actually played the Warzone last Thursday and caught a dub. Our first game.
we did.
First
we
game
did.
got the dub. So a little update for those who were in that stream.
Yeah. Maybe we'll have to run that back. Maybe tonight or tomorrow.
I think we might have to.
Yeah. So let's see what else we have in the chat from our guys. Yeah, KLA Sports says, in last year's drafts, we got 3 steals: Patrick Queen, J.K. Dobbins, Madubuike. Now, Patrick Queen didn't play all that well down the stretch. We know that J.K. Dobbins definitely did, and so did Justin Madubuike. Living Legend says Queen be lost in zone coverage. That's what he has to focus on. Yeah, I mean, fair points, fair points. Eh,
I think you could put James Prochet as a steal, but I mean, coming out
Prochet,
of college, he was a steal, but you can't nothing yet. It's no production yet, but that's on the Ravens, not on him. So
yeah, yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Let's see. Do we have our guy? Boz isn't in the chat, is he? Is Boz
I
here?
think he is. I believe he
Is he here?
is.
Will the real
If
Boz
not,
please stand up?
yeah. Well, underscore it's where Buzz. Please stand up. The
Yeah,
real one. If not,
but
yeah.
but yeah, though, we did get some steals in the draft last year. It'll be very interesting to see what we do this year. Of course, like I was saying, there's a lot of like if we do end up trading up with Orlando Brown, into the draft, then I don't know. We may be able to get one of those wide receivers, maybe a Jalen Waddle. We were talked about the thing with Kyle Pitts getting that extra tight end to go alongside Mark Andrews. The possibilities are literally endless, and that's what makes this so intriguing and so exciting because it's just like we have no idea what we're going to do. All we can do at the end of the day is speculate until April 29th. That's when the draft is. And we'll see who it is that we pick. And then I don't know if we're going to be able to get move off of Orlando Brown before then. Uh,
Yeah.
Maybe we do. I don't know. But it'll be interesting nonetheless. It'll definitely be interesting.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to the draft. I mean, just because I trust our guys picking players, except receivers, obviously. But we talked about
Right.
that. But it's like if there's somebody who I don't know, it's like, okay, well, we've developed guys from out of nowhere, so I definitely think we can develop them. I look at last year when we got Geno Stone, I
Yeah.
had high hopes for him, and I still think he's going to be a good player in the league. He was a
Yeah.
second round talent drafted in the seventh round. I'm like, okay, and then we just never saw the field. And I just gotta. I feel if we had preseason, he would still be on the team. I
Yeah.
definitely believe that, and that's why this last year sucked with no preseason. You couldn't see him the guy shine, and sucked.
Right. Yeah. That's true. And like you said, hopefully we do get a preseason this year because boy do we need it. Boy do we need it. We saw what not having a preseason, did to us, or to the whole league, I feel like the rookies who performed this past season, you can put them on that much higher of a pedestal because
Yeah,
it's like you did all that without, a preseason, without something that everybody else in this league had, you know, in their rookie season. So
and
yeah, shout
for
out to
me,
them.
that's good. For me, that's just zeroing in on two guys, Justin Herbert and Justin Jefferson, because
Yeah,
how good Herbert played, being thrown into it. I think it was week
yeah,
two when
right.
Tyrod Taylor, got punctured, and they were like, "We're going with Herbie," and I'm like, and he's just like, he was ready for it, and
He just
he dueled with Mahomes, and
yeah,
they should have won that game, but took it in overtime, I believe. So I definitely get the Chargers right now. They got a good future, and then Justin Jefferson too, breaking rookie records for receivers, breaking Randy Moss's records.
yeah,
Like you said, no preseason. It's crazy, absolutely
absolutely.
crazy.
Let's see. Darius Simmons says, "Did you guys watch the Senior Bowl?" And KLA Sports says, "What players from the Senior Bowl stuck out to you as players the Ravens should look at?"
I did
That
not
I
watch
will
the Senior
actually,
Bowl.
yeah, did not watch the
I
Senior Bowl
was
yet. I need to
at
review
the
it
mall.
though.
I was getting this jersey during the Senior Bowl, so yeah, I wasn't.
Yeah.
But actually, I want to see if you did watch it. How did Creed Humphrey look, the center from Oklahoma? Because I really want the Ravens to get him. Just let me know how he looked, because that's the guy I was gonna keep my eye on.
Yeah, I definitely have to go ahead and watch back the Senior Bowl because I did not get to catch it. When did it come on? It was a couple days ago.
Saturday.
Saturday, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, got to go back and watch that. Christopher Swain says, "What's up, y'all? I had a night class. Okay,
How are you
taking the
doing,
night
Chris?
classes. There you go. I
Welcome.
see you.
Welcome back.
Welcome back, Christopher Swain. Always, glad to have you here. Let's see what else we have in here. I thought I saw a question from our guy. Yes. Tyreek says, "Who's breaking out on our team next year?"
I want to say receiver, but I'm gonna go with the linebacker by the name of Malik
Mm,
Harrison. I
okay.
think I think if he gets more snaps, I think he can. You'll see why we had such high hopes for him coming out of Ohio State.
Yeah,
What do you
I
think? What
like
are you
that.
thinking?
I really really like that Malik Harrison. I really want to go with Malik Harrison myself, but I'm gonna go, and as cliche as this may sound, I'm gonna go Mark Andrews. I'm gonna go Mark
You've
Andrews.
been his biggest critic.
I have, and for that very reason, I feel like I feel like a lot of people have been his biggest critic. So for that very reason, I feel like he's going to have that breakout season. He'll be going into what, his third season, or was his third or fourth season?
Fourth.
Fourth season. That's right. Yeah, he'll be going
But
into his
third as a
fourth
full
season.
starter because his first year he really didn't start because we had Hurst was ahead of him. I think Boyle was too.
But yeah, I mean, because like he'll be going into his fourth season. We'll be getting a new passing game coordinator. I feel like he's gonna take that step up. Him and Lamar, they really need. I know they're gonna be getting together in the offseason, and he is his number. As of right now, Mark Andrews is Lamar Jackson's number one target. So I would like to see, with a new passing coordinator, are there ways that we can get a Mark Andrews open? Kind of like how Travis Kelce is open on seemingly every single play
Every
when the
play.
Chiefs breaks it down. So it's
Always
just
single coverage too.
exactly. So if Mark Andrews can take that step up, which I believe that he can, I wholeheartedly believe that he can, and our offensive scheme can take that step up as well, which I do also believe that we can if we bring in the right guys. I've got Mark Andrews breaking out next year, and I think he could
Oh,
possibly be that number one, number two tight end, top two.
okay.
Yeah,
So I'm gonna ask you this. I'm gonna
sure.
ask you this. Do we sign him now, or or in the offseason next year?
I think we definitely sign him in the offseason next year. Got to have a
Okay.
prove it year for him, for
Yeah,
sure. I
I agree.
understand, like, in a lot of big moments, he was double, sometimes even triple covered, but it's like, dude, when the ball comes your way and we need you to catch that ball, and like you're open, or it's like single coverage or something that you probably should beat as a tight end, we need you to make that play for us. You want to know
Yeah.
why? Because Travis Kelsey does, because Darren Waller does, because Robert Tanyan does, and that's what makes the difference. That's what
Yeah.
makes the difference. So I
Yeah.
think we're definitely gonna put him on a prove it year. If he performs this year, then yeah, pay him in the offseason next year. But what do you think?
I gotta agree with you there. And now let's just talk stats. We did it with the other Oklahoma boy, with Marquise Brown. I'm gonna pull up
Right.
Mark Andrews stats, and you tell me what you think is, fair for us to
Speculate.
just yeah. So this past season, he had 58 receptions, 700 yards, and 7 touchdowns for an average of 12 yards a catch.
Yeah. Uh, I'm gonna go. You said 7 touchdowns, right?
Yeah.
7 touchdowns, 700 yards. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go 10 touchdowns.
Okay.
I'm gonna go 10 touchdowns, and I'm gonna go 900 yards. I'm gonna go 10 touchdowns,
Oh.
900 yards. I feel like it's gonna be a yak year for him. I mean, I just want to see I want to see that energy for him. I feel like he's gonna be playing with a chip on his shoulder next season.
I think you're
Like
right.
if Yeah, like he's gonna be playing with a chip on his shoulder. And I think that he could definitely go for some more yak. I think he could. And our guy Boz is in the building. I was waiting on it. I didn't see him all night, but he is here. So shout out to Boz.
Our
Boz.
guy.
Yeah, our guy. But yeah,
So, Boz, are we running Warzone tonight? Let us know. Are you going to be the third? Um, but so just going with the Mark Andrews stats, in 2019, he had 64 receptions, 852 yards, 10 touchdowns. 2018, 34 catches, 550 yards, 3 touchdowns. So you're expecting that breakout year, and I think you have every reason to expect it because Kelsey did it, Kittle did it, Tunyon did it
yeah,
last year, Waller did it. It's his time. I think right now he's a top 5 tight end. I believe
yeah,
Tunyon and Waller are ahead of him, but there's going to be somebody who might be able to challenge him for that fifth spot. So he should want to stay in that top 5 to get that top 5 tight end money. So I'm hoping you're right because I would love to see number 89 up and down the field next year, catching touchdowns, throwing up gang signs in the end zone because that's what we need.
right. Absolutely. Our guy Click One says, agree or disagree. Duvernay's got the safest hands on the team. I disagree with that. I'm gonna say Willie Snead.
Until
I'm
March
gonna go Willie
17th, I'm
Snead.
going to agree with you there. But after March 17th, he'll be a free agent.
You're
Um,
right.
so I don't know. Speaking of Willie Snead, he actually put out a little bit of a cryptic Instagram post today. You guys want to talk about that?
Let's talk about it.
All right. So he put out a picture, just a bunch of pictures of him with just some Ravens players. And he said, "One thing I know, I can always call Baltimore home with a black heart and a purple heart." Does this mean it's the end for Willie Snead? I hope not, but mm,
I think it. I mean, maybe it means that there's some uncertainty. Like he just doesn't know. I'm sure. Like nobody's really talking. I guess people aren't really talking to him that much yet. And his future's uncertain. So he's like, if there's one thing I do know, Baltimore's always home.
I mean, his comments saying, "Want to have you back? You're leaving us. Why'd you post this?" Did he confirm he's leaving? Uh, Want to have you back next year? Please don't tell me you're leaving. I wish we could have gotten you a Super Bowl. I mean, Ravens fans want him back, and it's really rare to see guys align on a player. I like to have him back. I think a 1 year deal, 2 year deal, minimum, maybe 2 years, 6 mil can't hurt. He's a reliable
Yeah,
guy,
yeah. If he's willing to
and
take
and he
that pay, for sure.
and he brought some dog at the receiving position. I remember watching The Wired from the Titans game, and he was jawing with some dudes, blocking them. I would definitely. He knew that play like a Raven. He has it in him. I love that.
Yeah, he does. He does. Hopefully, I mean, yeah. Hopefully, we can get him back for a pretty good price, and so we're happy, and he's happy because he's also a really good guy too. I like Willie Snead. Let's see. Christopher Swain says, hot take. If we had our 2018-2019 defense and our 2019-2020 offense, do y'all think we would have won the Super Bowl?
Yeah, make it. I think we would have made it. Winning it depends. If we're going against the Patriots from 2018, I think we will beat them because they weren't a good team. They won 13-3. That was a boring ass Super Bowl.
Yeah.
The Chiefs last year they just turned it on when they got down. It depends who you would. I mean, since we're AFC, well, we could have beaten the Rams in 18. We beat the Niners last year with our defense and the offense.
Yeah, that's true. And I know we could. I mean, against the Bucks, if the Ravens were playing the Bucks this Sunday,
Right, like this team, right, like this year's team.
well, I guess the question is with the
Okay,
2019-2020 offense and the 2018-2019 defense.
I think so. Actually, our secondary was. It's hard if we're saying fully healthy because Tavon Young was out in the playoff game.
Yeah,
We had an amazing pass rush. Zadarius
right.
Smith and Judon and Suggs. Um, that's a
Tampa
really
Bay's
good
defense
question.
is really good though.
It is. It is.
Yeah,
Because their tight end, I mean, their linebackers would definitely keep up with our tight ends.
yeah,
Uh, but that's where the three tight ends, that's where it really came in. Because somebody
yeah.
was always open. Hurst would
Right.
be open or Boyle would be open because Mark Andrews was covered.
Yeah, man.
I don't know. I think they could have made it. Winning it, I don't know.
Yeah, now that you say that, I definitely hope that we bring back another tight end. We'll move on from that one. Unknown Goat says, yo, Alex and Sutton, what's y'all second favorite team? Mine is the Chiefs. Second favorite team. My second favorite team
Not
would
the
probably
Chiefs. Ugh.
my second favorite team would probably have to be Washington. Washington football team. Like it's just it's the hometown, you know what I mean? Like they're a couple minutes up the road from me, so and I've always kind of been around there. I've been to a couple of their games, so I'd probably go Washington. But what about you though?
Mine's LA Rams. I actually went to FedEx Field 2 times for a soccer game. Really, really weird stadium. Weird stadium compared to others I've been to.
Really?
Right when you walk in the gates, like there's the field compared to like other attractions you got to get through. It's just right there. So it was fun though. It was fun. Close to the field too. Some close action. So
Yeah.
definitely
Yeah, I
watching
like
soccer games at a football field is once in a lifetime. It's crazy.
But you said LA Rams is your second favorite team.
Unfortunately, I'm upset with the golf trade too. So,
Hmm.
that big golf guy over here, big Jared Golf
Yeah.
guy right here.
Did you become a fan of Jared Goff after that Rams Chiefs game a couple years ago?
No, I am a fan because of Sean McVay. Like youngest
Hmm.
coach, I'm like, hell yeah, I'm gonna root for him. I remember watching his first year; they lost to the Falcons, and then the second year, like I was like, okay, like they had Cup, I'm like okay, looking good, Woods, Cooks, and then just I remember the game I really believed in them was 2017 when they blew out the Seahawks in Seattle, like 40-6. I'm like, okay, they're the real deal. And since then, I've been like just rocking with them as a second team.
Yeah. True. True. Let's see if we have. I'll take a couple more questions in here from you guys. Tyler Sugar, he says, you guys think Lamar is going to break 1,000 yards rushing again next season?
Ooh.
Over or under 1,000 yards for Lamar Jackson next season? I'm going to go under.
I gotta go. I don't think it's gonna be over. I'm gonna say 800 to 900.
8 to
I feel
9.
because we have J.K. and Gus. I feel we were just giving
Yeah.
stupid carries to Mark Ingram, and that
Yeah.
forced Lamar to rush.
Right.
Do
That's a
you
great
think we'll
point.
get another running back? Question of the rain gang too. Will we get another running back?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I don't think we do because I think we still have Justice Hill on our depth chart, on our roster. So if we do need to bring a guy up, I feel like it would probably be him.
Okay.
Um,
I need to play
yeah,
special teams pretty
yeah,
damn
he plays
well.
special teams, so.
Just throwing it out there.
But yeah, I think we agree on that one. Under 1,000 yards rushing next season, especially if we get a new, passing game coordinator in and we start experimenting with more things and just plain and simple, we need to stop running Lamar Jackson like 12 to 14 times a game. We can't do that. Can't do it forever. Just can't. No. So, yeah.
Like less
Hopefully we do less
design
of that.
runs, but he's still gonna
Right.
be a threat no matter what. So you can sprinkle him in there, but not a heavy dosage.
Exactly. Exactly. Not a huge heavy dose of those design runs because a lot of times they just seem like they seem forced and
They
a
do.
lot of his best runs come from like passing plays or non-design running plays. The play breaks down, he scrambles out of the pocket and ends up scoring a touchdown. He did it against the Titans. He almost did it against the Rams last season. um yeah, came that close. But yeah, so I don't think that he'll get that 1K rushing yards. All right. So I think that's all the questions that we have in here for the night. Any final remarks? Any last things you want to bring up, Alex?
I would say don't miss Thursday's episode. Gonna be a good
Yes,
one. Super Bowl.
absolutely.
Obviously, if anything happens with the Ravens, but it's gonna be mainly focused on the Super Bowl.
Yeah,
Everything about it. I mean, it's the last game of the 2020-2021 season.
it's time.
The
I'm
GOAT
excited.
versus the kid. Yeah, I am too. Um,
Honestly, like I feel like you couldn't, and of course, I wish my Ravens were in it. But I feel like you couldn't ask for a better Super Bowl than this one in terms of like matchups, stories, like
how convenient, right?
Chiefs.
How
How
convenient.
convenient, you know? Brady in another Super Bowl in Tampa Bay. He's got all the weapons in the world going up against the young phenom and Pat Mahomes and Tyreek Hill, Travis Kelsey, all those guys. It's gonna be a great game. It's gonna be a great game. I'm
Oh,
excited.
it's
So make
going.
sure, like Alex said, make sure you guys tune into episode 23 of the Purple Rain podcast because we will be talking all about the Super Bowl.
Yes. Yeah. Any other
Real
comments you
quick,
got to get to?
yeah. Let's see. KLA Sports says if anybody is interested, he writes NFL and NBA articles, and his Twitter is at following there at Kyle the OG underscore 15. So make sure you
Check
guys
him
go
out.
follow him. Check him out as well. Let's see. Christopher Swain says, "Hey, are we ever gonna do like that Ravens team draft, like people making their own teams?"
I'd be down with that.
Yeah,
How about this? If there's no Ravens news from today to Thursday, we do that on Thursday's episode with the Super Bowl.
we can do
I
that.
mean,
I'm
as
with
long as
that.
there's no like major news, I'm cool with
Yeah, I'm
that.
with that.
All right, cool. I mean,
Absolutely.
then we can, everybody can vote. We can have the Rain Gangs team, and then we can have my team and your team.
Yeah. Cool. So, all right, guys, we're going to go ahead and wrap up for tonight. Thank you guys so much for coming through
Thank
and
you.
watching episode 22 of the Purple Rain podcast. If you've been rocking out with us for this whole entire time, you are a trooper. You are the best. We appreciate you guys. If you're just coming through, sorry the stream is just ending, but hey, you can rewind it. This is a live stream. It'll be on
Yes.
YouTube. You can rewind it. You can watch it back. But yeah, we appreciate you guys for coming through, and we're going to catch you guys in the next one. But before we get out of here, you can find us on Twitter or Instagram. You can find me on Twitter or Instagram at SuttonDef, at SUTTONDEF. You can write me, you can DM me, mention me on Twitter, whatever. I like to chat it up with you guys. And my guy Alex, he is available on Twitter or Instagram. On Instagram at simplyas10.prod and on Twitter at AlexSilberman_. So make sure you guys go ahead and check him out as well as check out his YouTube channel, SimplyAS10. Highlight videos, everything that you would want to see in terms of like NFL, like, highlight content and stuff like that. Make sure you guys check him out, subscribe to his channel. He's almost at 20K. And when he does get to 20K, we're going to do something very special for you guys.
Yes.
So make sure you guys go ahead and subscribe to his channel as well.
Yes.
And yeah, any final remarks, bro?
We have our own Instagram, the Purple Rain Podcast. You can follow us there. I mean, if you want to, if you want to get your Ravens news, we will share it on there. No matter what it is, the smallest of news or the biggest of news, you'll get it there. But I think that is it. I don't have anything else. No other news came out today, so I guess we'll see you guys on Thursday.
All right.
Alrighty.
And just your last final regards for the Rain Gang.
You know what's coming. Stay safe, and as always, like my guy Devon said, stay positive, test negative.
We're gonna catch you guys in the next one.